Stryker lives, like right around here.
Yeah, Stryker's like 3 minutes away, maybe.
I thought I
wouldn't want to live anywhere near Stryker.
Dude, he stalked me and found out where I lived.
That's super creepy.
Which, here's the thing, he didn't even like follow me home because we both come home the same way from the Funny Bone. No, he went through the trouble of using Google Maps to find my car on the maps part of this place.
Stryker did?
That's
yeah,
super,
he makes me really uncomfortable sometimes. Like as a grown man, he makes me really uncomfortable.
That's right. He's real creepy.
Interesting.
Okay, so we're rolling. We can pretty much call action whenever we want because I can edit this to start whenever I feel like it.
What encouraged you to start a show like this, Quentin?
I think first we should welcome people to the show.
Welcome.
Hey guys.
Hi guys. Welcome to this.
As yet unnamed.
Yeah, we don't have a name for this. We're working on it. So far, they're all awful.
Yeah,
they're
but
just
we'll work our way.
Horrible names. But we'll come up with a name eventually, and probably a more solid premise for this too. Because it kind of got slapped together over the last... It's not even been a full week, really.
No, yeah.
We talked about this last Wednesday.
Yep.
And then kind of have thrown all of this together.
Kind of freeballing it. That's the way I like to do things.
But yeah, I am one of your co-hosts, Quentin Wilbur.
Jessica Manchinton.
This is our guest today, Mr. Max Price. We will also be joined by Mr. Matt Rose later, whenever he gets here. Wires were crossed because he has a real Facebook page and a fake one, and I spent 2 hours talking to a fake Facebook page.
I wish I had stalkers that made fake Facebook pages about me.
I had no idea he had
Again, I think that was a Stryker thing.
Yeah,
so many were made about him that he decided he had to get on that
Stryker
baby train.
Spurlock is a gem.
Well, actually, I think Stryker ended up making a fake page for a guy named Matt Seda back then. I don't know. I know you weren't around to meet Matt.
No.
Did you meet?
Yeah,
I
knew
Seda?
Matt.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Cabbage Patch Kid.
Yeah. I know that Stryker ended up making like a fake page for Matt Seda. I don't know. He died, I guess.
He I never hear anything about him, but like once every 4 months he likes a status that I make or something, and then he's just gone again.
I just assumed that he drove over a cliff, but for no really good reason. He just slipped.
Someone just gets on his Facebook page and likes things for about once every 4 months. And
I think it's Stryker.
He was driving in his car and he dropped some food down and his foot hit the gas pedal and just drove into a tree or something.
So as this is an unnamed show, which gives you no inclination as to what's going on, we're going to talk about food because I love food.
I love food.
In case my barbecue getup that I traditionally wear around the house just doesn't really sell it to you.
It's pretty great.
Food is awesome. Jessica here did 5 years at culinary school?
I did 2 years at culinary school and 3 years doing another food degree, so I'm a food professional.
She is great, which is going to be fantastic because she's going to have a lot of me going, that looks like enough.
Nice.
No, it's not right. It's not right, Quentin.
I made myself a steak the other night and it was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say that.
Did you apply some heat to it?
Yeah, there was some heating.
All right.
I used a cast iron skillet.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't have a grill. I live in an apartment, so yeah, and I didn't want to just use a regular frying pan, so yeah, I use a cast iron skillet because I think it really keeps the flavor in, And
it also heats more evenly.
Okay, okay, I didn't know that about it.
See, there you go. Now you know. Use some salt.
Cool.
A little pepper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Get crazy.
Yeah, put a little seasoning in there. Ooh. Yeah, I love it.
Man, I made myself macaroni and cheese last night.
No, we're not talking about that. Is there meat in it?
No.
That's rule number 1 on this show. Sorry.
It has to have meat.
That's an important thing to me. For all the people all 5 of you that will watch this, and you all already know me, so you know this is the case. I will only talk about dishes that involve meat.
Oh.
Fair enough.
Because I believe that it's my duty to compensate for all the vegetarians and vegans in the world.
Because we don't have enough meat eaters to compensate for it.
No. Not for the right reasons. We have people that eat meat because it tastes good. I eat meat so that nature remembers we won.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
It's an alpha male thing.
Yeah,
All right.
like I would eat
Gotcha.
anything that I felt superior
It's
to.
a dominance. Thing.
You know, there
It's
were
not
some
a-
people, they like came into my restaurant last night and they wanted anything that was dairy, soy, and gluten-free. But they still ate meat, so I still respected them a tiny bit. They all got steaks. I mean, it was fine, but, you know, fuck
Is
those
it?
people.
Can you be allergic to soy? I don't
Yeah,
know enough about
absolutely.
that. Okay, so maybe
Absolutely
it's an
can.
allergy thing, which that's fair.
Yeah.
If you got an allergy thing, like if you can't eat red meat because your colon's gonna blow, like, I mean,
I know
do you
people like
really
that
need
too.
a
That sounds
colon?
horrible.
But
Right.
you know,
That
Yeah.
sounds like a terrible. I don't want to be a person.
I work
that
with someone who
lives
can't
like
eat
that.
a single bite of red meat, or he's fucked.
I mean,
That's-
that sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah, that
I don't
sounds-
think I could live
I
life
don't.
like that.
I feel like the
definitely
irony is
I
that's
definitely
gonna
couldn't.
happen to me.
I definitely couldn't because that's
like
steak.
half my
Steak is
diet.
much too important to me.
Actually, my diet's like chicken nuggets and pizza rolls, to be honest. You know, I'm like a real professional chef and I
I
just
mean,
eat chicken nuggets.
Pizza rolls, do like pepperoni because that's
Yeah,
that's
only
a good,
pepperoni.
Well,
There's
yeah.
no other good pizza rolls. Like,
'Cause that's a-
triple
that's a-
meat
that's a red
is
meat.
kind of okay.
It's a red meat. It's meat and it's red.
Salami.
Pepperoni.
But it's very
yeah,
red.
it's
It's
super red.
technically
Pepperoni
salami.
pepperoni is technically a red meat, so I mean, it works.
Technically, pork, what we're making, is not a red meat.
No,
Even though
pork
it's-
is a
it's
pork is a
pink.
white meat.
It's the other white meat.
It's
As
do they
they
still
say.
do that?
You guys ever eat
advertising
shark?
campaign?
No, I've never.
I have had shark actually.
I had shark not too long ago, and it was very, going off your dominance thing, it was very thrilling because it was cool to eat something that in other circumstances would be eating
In
meat
other
and-
circumstances and a lot of travel because we are in a Missouri
Yes.
where sharks
Yeah,
are
okay.
not.
I should mention that I was back home visiting in California. Back home in California visiting family, and I went to one of our favorite restaurants there. That's right on the ocean, Anthony's, and they have just a delicious shark. I never had it before, and I was like, you know what? You gotta try it once.
I would
You
like
know,
to eat a
gotta,
bear.
Gotta try it.
I would eat a bear, but only
Why is that not a thing?
I would only eat a bear if I could kill the bear. Because I feel like I just like it's. I just
yeah,
want to
that's-
have
that's the
dominance
dominance
over
thing.
the
Yeah,
bear.
absolutely.
I
No,
just
that's
want to
fair.
kill the bear.
It has to be a non-endangered bear for me.
Why don't you care about that with other animals?
I mean, I can kill a chicken easily.
Because
That's
it's
not,
so easy. Because it's so
not-
easy.
that's
Why
not
why
effort.
do you do it?
Why do anything
Okay.
that's easy?
Okay, that's fair.
I will never eat anything endangered, but not because I care about them. I'm afraid, like, what if I kill a Komodo dragon, like that the Ferris Bueller movie, but not Ferris Bueller, The Graduate, and then I eat the Komodo dragon, and it turns out they're delicious, and I hunt them to extinction, and then can never have Komodo dragon.
They're already endangered, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's why no endangered animals. I
What
will
if
only
you
eat
were like that
animals
dentist
I
that
know I
everybody
can
hated
keep
a couple
getting.
months ago and then forgot about?
Yeah.
Because he killed that whatever.
He killed that lion.
He killed a lion.
That
I would like to eat a lion actually.
oh, I'm sure.
I just
lion-
want to. I think you've inspired me. Like I want to eat anything that can kill
you.
now.
Yeah,
I feel like that's
absolutely.
probably a very, very tough meat lion because they
Yeah.
are muscular motherfuckers.
They
You know?
are.
They,
But you know, you
that's
can
prob-
cook lean
Well, here,
meat.
you know what?
You can cook lean meats. It's just it's a
Okay.
process.
Yeah, that's a
It's like a
slow cook.
12-hour roast on the
Yeah.
spit with that lion.
Yeah, you leave that in enough liquids and a low heat for a long enough period of time, that's gonna fall off the bone.
It'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I want to eat. I also kind of eat like a box jellyfish because that thing. They're tiny. They're like this big,
That are.
but they're poisonous as fuck. But I don't know what they're like
But
to
how?
cook them.
How could you eat one? I mean, they don't really have like a lot you can eat. They're almost all poison sac and stomach,
See, now,
right?
now I've been inspired. I just want to eat everything that can kill me.
I think this
That's
is
a
fair.
new quest.
I think that's our goal. We need to get this show to be so popular that we get the rights to kill and eat animals that people would
That would be
normally say
amazing.
that's a hell
you're
of
a monster.
that's a hell of a
Okay,
budget.
here's a question. We're
So
cooking
we got-
pork today. Now I
We
know
are.
that pigs will eat anything. Like pigs will decompose a dead body
Yes.
easily. They'll just eat everything
That
except for
old
the
Bob
bones.
trick. Yeah.
Do you think that a pig would attack you and eat you if you're alive? Only if they have rabies?
How do you think that would work? Do you think they would combine the National Geographic Network and the Food Network together?
Like for us,
I think
absolutely.
at one
A whole new channel.
One super channel.
Super channel.
National Geographic Food Channel.
It's all about eating the hearts of your adversary.
Can you imagine the amount of hate mail we would get? It would just...
Can you imagine the amount of hate mail? This is when I said I don't
get
eat
so much
meat
hate mail.
just because. I mean, I don't care. You're a vegetarian. It's not like your opinion matters. But
So sorry.
when you get mad, cry about it. That's what you're good at.
Anyway, what are we making alongside our report today?
Well, I don't really know. I haven't gotten that far ahead.
Well, do you really need anything other than pork?
Not really. We're gonna do, and we're doing that root beer sauce.
Okay.
Which I guess I need to explain to people at home. I have a root beer glaze that I like to make. Unfortunately, I lack root beer, so we're doing this.
Don't they also lack Worcestershire?
We also lack Worcestershire sauce, which is the other necessary.
Did you want me to go down the street real quick?
No, it's cool.
No.
We're gonna try substituting Dr. Best.
We're gonna freeze all of it. Because that's how we did things on this show.
I love surprises.
Surprise!
I had enough money when I hit the grocery store to get pork chops and an 89-cent 2-liter soda.
I wish that I could afford an 89-cent 2-liter cola. You know, the 12-pack is only $2 for the can.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's more.
I don't know if it's
How
liquid
much
more,
are
but
these
this is
cans?
most convenient
Are these
for me.
12 ounces?
These are 12 ounces.
12 times 6 is what? 64?
72.
72? I can't do math.
67, so
That's more affordable. Good for
This
you
is-
for
this is
saving money.
better-
I'm really proud
better
of
per
you.
cost.
That's great.
which I need to be good at because I don't know. I posted this on Facebook yesterday. I think you saw it. I don't know if you did. I finished my taxes yesterday.
Oh yeah.
That's great.
And I was like really against the Affordable Health Care Act, like not in its intention, but just the mechanics of it. Because I really was not looking forward to this fine I was gonna get.
Right.
Thankfully, I'm so poor and made so little money last year that the government said, "Don't worry about it."
Nice.
I wish I was that poor.
That's, you know what? I genuinely don't think I ever expected to hear that. I don't think that was ever something I imagined I would ever hear.
I
wish I was that poor.
I'm at the pinnacle point of broke. Like I'm not so broke that the government like considers me a burden, like a homeless person, where they just want to euthanize you passively. But I'm also not rich enough that they're going to make me pay for things I can't afford.
That's a good medium. That's a good medium.
Yeah.
Just slide right in there, just
right into
unnoticed. That's amazing.
Narrow slot of just we can't
Posted in with that PT Cruiser, just got right in there.
Leslie drives the PT Cruiser,
I do
in
drive
case
a
you didn't
PT
know.
Cruiser, and by the way, the PT Cruiser, fantastic vehicle.
No.
I love that
No
car.
one has ever said that a PT Cruiser is a
Anything that
fantastic.
gets you
I
from
love
point
that
A to
car.
point B, who
It's a
fucking
great car.
cares? I don't give a fuck.
Also, by
People-
the way, picking up chicks way too easy when you have a nice car. Sometimes you
You wanna
gotta
have a
up the
challenge.
difficulty. You
Yeah.
gotta be able to go to a girl and be like, "Get out of here." Yeah, which car is yours? The Cruiser. Really? Trust me. Oh.
The seats
The
go
PT
all
Cruiser. The
the
social
way
awkwardness isn't enough.
Yeah. I need something that just makes the whole thing
You need expert level.
No, it's like you want to warn the women before you get them in the car. Like, this is a weird motherfucker. So I'm just gonna tell them, like, I got a PT Cruiser. No.
This
But
is
that's
like,
your warning.
This is the sedan of white vans, basically.
This is your warning. Like, I drive a PT Cruiser, so I'm real creepy. By
Yeah.
the way, Quinton has a girlfriend.
Actually, I am engaged.
And
And
the fiance, like Jesus
she
Christ.
doesn't live here. We're not. She's in Canada. But,
In Canada. I've never met her. I don't know if this is real. But, you know.
no, I am engaged. So I don't care about picking anybody up anymore. I know that's something you have to worry about, and you have to worry about.
I mean...
You know what?
Maybe not so much you.
I'm-
You have a past of being a girl, so it's easier.
I mean...
I'm still in the phase where like I'm just like happy to not be in a shitty relationship anymore. That's all.
Cheers to that.
Right. So I'm just, so I'm like, I'm not even worried about it at this point.
I feel like we should have done at the beginning of the episode. Cheers.
I'm honestly all I'm really focused on right now is my son and comedy. That's all I give a shit about right now.
Those are good things to be focused on.
Which is true.
That's all I'm focusing on.
How old is your son now, by the way?
He is 11 months,
That's...
which is fucking crazy because I cannot believe it's almost been a year since that little fucker.
Okay, I have a legitimate question.
Yeah, legitimate.
At what point are you going to be one of those parents that says, "Oh, my kid's like 20 months old"?
Fuck no, dude.
Fuck those parents.
I hate those
Why?
parents. Those are the worst parents.
Once your kid turns a year
You're old, you just say they're a year until they turn 2 years old. If he's a year and 11 months, I'll say he's about to turn 2. If I don't, you know what?
My kid's 22.
I don't count. I don't. Not only do I not keep up with the date that much, but I don't. I don't care to spend that much time doing addition. You know?
The math.
No, absolutely.
I'll just once he turns a year, I can just say he's a year. And you know what? When he turns a year and a half, I'll say a year and a half. And when he turns 2, 2. That's all that's it. That's all. Anything else is fucking retarded.
You really don't need anything else. It's way too descriptive. Nobody knows. They don't want to know.
Someone told me their kid was 13 months recently, and I wanted to strangle him. Like, who the fuck cares?
Here's the thing. Is he 13 months to the day?
Right.
No.
Right.
I don't even care if he's 13. I don't even care if he's 13 months to the day. He's a year old. That's all I fucking. Who gives a fuck? Who's like, oh my god, he's 13 months. I thought he was 12. The difference. Jesus Christ.
I think maybe it's like the humble brag. It's like, oh my god, I kept my child alive for 13 whole months and I didn't kill it yet. But
maybe it's a self-esteem thing.
I think it depends who's speaking. I think from a male perspective that's true. I would argue that a woman, when she says 13 months, depending on who she's talking to, could be like, so, damage is repaired. Like, you never know.
Is it an ego thing? Is that what it is?
There's gotta be some.
It's more about the mom than it is about the kid. Is that the thing?
How long did that?
Bringing a child
how long
into the
ago
world.
did that come out of you? How?
No, it's actually it's actually it's like when you have the baby about like 2 months later, it's tighter than it was before you had the kid.
Oh.
Like it's they sew you up, man. They
sew you up. Sometimes it doesn't rip. Sometimes you're already that loose.
It depends on how it works. It depends on the delivery. Obviously, you know, there's lots of different things that can happen. The size of the woman and the vagina and the kid and the whatever happens, blah blah blah.
This is a
premature.
Sexy subject.
Yeah.
This is a sexy.
Yeah.
This is getting me randy.
But basically, I mean, in a lot of situations, after about 2 months after the kid's born, it's tighter than it was before.
That's great.
The delivery, yeah.
That's something to look forward to. I don't want children, like, ever. Like, fuck kids. That's cool that you have one. Like, you have a little spawn.
You mean fuck children? Fuck kids in the sense of you having, not fuck kids in general. Fuck having to take care of kids.
We have another guest coming up. But yes, fuck children. Fuck something coming out of my vagina. I only want things going in. It sounds like a horror film. I imagine there's blood
it's got awful.
shit. Everybody, this is
exactly what it is.
Matt Rose. Welcome to
Jameson Water.
There's there it is. Yeah. I don't have a tripod, so it's on top of that
right
box of paper towels.
say hi.
So how do we bring Matt up to speed? We talked about sharks and
We talked
We talk about eating
sharks.
all the animals that can kill you.
Yeah,
and
that's
how
it,
powerful
that's
that
it.
must be.
That's it.
Right now
we want to be able
about-
to. We were talking about eating shark, and then it got into she wants to eat a bear. We
I would
basically
love to
want
eat a
to
bear.
eat all the animals that in
could
other circumstances would be eating us.
Yes.
So gators and
And that we
Here,
can
we
bring up
have a
gators.
chair
That's a
for
good
you.
one. That's a good one too. Gators. Why not? Bring up
People
gators.
actually
Look at
eat
us.
gators, but
Oh, yeah,
we were
gators.
we
Yeah,
were
there's a
talking
state called
about-
Florida where it's very popular.
Oh, Quite
let's see.
recently.
And then from there, we also talked. He had a huge rant about shitting on vegetarians and vegans and all that noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we talked
What is-
about.
what is-
I gotta catch up.
Would
I
you
think
like
there was
a
something.
beer?
I think there was something
yeah, I
else
need to grab
before I
some.
started talking about babies.
Awesome.
So right now we are just talking about me not wanting anything to come out of my vagina.
Okay.
It sounds terrible.
I want nothing.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Ever. Can I use
sounds
that?
god awful. I completely.
Okay.
Cheers to that. No,
I don't know.
no kids if you don't
I
want.
might have a shot
And-
glass.
I was gonna say, especially if anybody wants some of this.
Poster here. But continue.
Oh no, I just say. I mean, I was. It's not something, especially when you're at a point in your life where I'm at. You don't, you're not like, hey, let's have a fucking kid, and when you, I mean, either one. There, is there a difference really?
Yes.
And
I can pour it evenly. I swear to God.
whoever got that one.
That's Quentin's.
Yeah, that's Quentin's. Okay.
Quentin's an
Fair
alcoholic.
enough. Fair
Quentin
enough.
gets the big one.
I'm only on drink 3. I don't need this
I'm gonna drink too.
nonsense.
All right. Cheers to the first episode.
So this is number 1, huh?
This
This
is
is
number
number
1.
one.
Episode 1.
As yet unnamed.
Yeah.
There's also a thing called that, but
Yeah.
cheers to the camera, to
Yes.
you, all of you.
The 4 people. Every time I think about that number, it just keeps going down. I feel
The
like
4
there'll be
people
less
watching.
people that
It's
are
just
going to
us.
care about this.
But honestly, if you think about it,
I'll
it's
be watching
really
it.
one person in their house watching it by themselves normally. So cheers to you, one person.
Absolutely.
We all know that you either just stopped masturbating or about to start masturbating because you're on YouTube watching
Especially when I
stuff.
show
It's
up.
just gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, between,
So I
the
hope you have
sexiness of
fun.
myself, Matt Rose, this shirt.
We know that you
His
have a
tattoos.
saved tab of Pornhub watching.
It's up.
You were
It's
just
gonna
this
happen.
was
Here's
your
the
break.
thing. Pornography, sir. No judgments.
Mm-hmm.
Unless
Or-
if
or
you watch
woman.
tickle
Or
porn.
woman.
In
Or
which
man.
I
case,
hope-
woman.
you're a sick fuck.
Or
Because
man.
tickle porn is weird.
Tickle porn is weird.
Tickle porn is
Let's
the
go
only
off
thing
on
where
that.
you should judge people.
Porn is.
I had a friend show me a Brazilian fart fetish video one time, and that
Not
was
as
a
freaky
I thought.
as
See, I
tickle
always
porn.
thought
Really?
that was a
You
joke.
think so?
You know what?
No,
There's
that's the
nothing sexual about tickle porn.
What's sexual about a fart fetish?
The butt.
The butt. People like the
Yes,
butthole.
the butt.
I don't know why I won't like
Tickle
this.
is literally.
But people like the butthole.
If you watch tickle porn, you just get off on being an asshole to someone. Like that's
Isn't
all
that
you
like-
are.
What
Just
if you-
some
what if
jerk.
Well, what
But
if,
it
it's
matters
the
on the side.
what if it's the person getting tickled that has the fetish?
Exactly.
That's
So you just want to feel really uncomfortable and then you get off. Is that what it is? Because like tickling is really uncomfortable.
Yeah,
for
because
me
there's meds for that.
personally,
Like
I don't get
you can get past this.
I don't get ticklish. It's a fun thing. Like you could try. I don't get ticklish. It's great.
Oh, well, fucking lucky you, because
I know,
it doesn't
I know.
matter where
As a
you touch me,
you know
I'm
what?
ticklish as fuck.
Oh.
I'm a fan
Don't
of
say
ticklish.
that.
Like, if you got me good before, you could just hint at touching.
Oh, yeah!
It's like
I
I'll be
know!
like,
no, actually, as a woman, it's kind of like a
It's like a phantom vibration in your phone, you know?
checking it.
It's like all they have to do is
No
this,
light
and you can
flashing.
already feel the tickle.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the neck. The neck more than anything. Like,
Oh, yeah.
people, someone can just
Necks
go
are ticklish?
like this to me, and my neck's go, ah!
You never tickled somebody's
It's-
neck before?
it's feet,
Not as
neck,
an adult.
armpit, and like inner thigh, or like
And
before.
what kind of people are you tickling? Like women?
Dates?
Are you
No,
tickling?
I'm saying
Yeah.
getting tickled growing up and stuff.
Oh,
Like,
what
if
kind
you
of
have
people
a-
were tickling you on your inner thighs when you were a
As a
child?
little kid, I mean,
That
you had
seems-
parents and
I will say that is one upside to being a parent is that I have a little creature that I can tickle
Creature.
to the point of fucking like,
They're crying.
suffocation, and he can't do shit about it. He can't punch me or anything. I throw him. I throw him on the couch and I literally just tickle him until his face is red as a strawberry and he can't do anything about it. It's hilarious. And I feel bad, like, I let him
Yeah.
catch his breath again. I feel bad for a second, but then I'm like, that was hilarious. So I don't.
Maybe there'll be some point in his life where he gets back at you.
He probably will.
No, he won't. He's gonna repress this and end up being a guy
Repress
that
these
jerks
memories.
off.
If he's
with tickle
anything
porn.
like me, he will do everything to fuck with his father's life.
Is that what your life is like, Max Price? Is that?
So he's just, it's just, I'm pretty sure my son is just a big living ball of karma. that is coming
That's what all
back.
kids are.
Pretty much.
Yes, absolutely.
This is such
Are
a
you
depressing
grandparents?
topic.
Some people plan on it, you know.
I gotta ask.
Some people try, and they actually. Some people actually have their life together,
You know
and they
what?
have a kid when they feel like they're ready, which is like 10% of the time.
Here's
I'm
the
one of the 90% who was like bombarded by a
That's-
fucking living being that I have to, you know,
That sounds terrible.
care for.
Yeah.
Like I was one of that 10%.
I love my kid, by the way. I feel like I should just reiterate that. I love the kid. He's cool as fuck.
That's-
You know, I'm not
For
like
now.
shitting on him or anything. I mean, I kind of am, but I love him and I would, you know, take a bullet for him. But I mean, he's a fucking kid.
Congrats to you on
There's
your
no getting around that.
No, I was one of those 10%ers. It sounds so fancy. I was the only child in my family. My father has 5 children. I was the only one that was planned. And I
Right.
feel like at some
And all
point,
the others were successful, but except for you, right?
Yeah.
right, exactly.
You're the
All
one
of them were successful.
I've
now
heard that
I'm
joke.
and I feel like at some point you would realize that maybe you should like have protected sex. Like you've already had 3 children. I was the 3rd. I feel like at some point you say, hey, maybe I don't want another child. Maybe
After
I
the
should
4th
use
one,
protection.
that's when you do.
As-
But then they planned you. So
But-
after the 5th one, that's when you have.
The 5th
That's when you're in
child
prison.
was actually like 4 years after the one before. That was definitely she was a mistake.
My sister has
She's
7 kids, and they
great.
did that shit on purpose.
Oh God.
Yeah,
That's
right. And
crazy.
she's
Why?
and she had 7 kids by like 29.
Wait, hold on. There's things happening back here. So Quentin, talk about what's
So,
happening.
yeah, so
Yeah, Quentin, let's talk about food because this is kind of
It
the
is
whole
it
point
was
of
a
the
cooking
show,
show, but then we
isn't
got
it?
drunk and sidetracked, which is also the point of the show. So we kind
Perfect.
of really do it every
So,
time we're supposed
welcome
to
to
be
the
doing.
cooking
You need
portion.
subplots. A good show needs
I'm really
subplots.
concerned about what's happening right
All right,
here.
we're
because,
gonna
the
pick up
aroma
the
right
I'm
camera.
sorry.
so there's something on the stove happening. It's bubbling. I'm a little bit concerned, but there's meat in the oven.
No. Okay, so this is gonna be. There's a switch on the right there. Do you mind hitting that? Perfect. Thank you. Okay.
There's-
So this is our root beer sauce that does not have root beer or Worcestershire sauce as it is supposed
It's
to.
got soy sauce. It's got no Worcestershire.
Yeah, that is an empty Worcestershire
Worcestershire.
sauce battle.
Okay. There's
Battle.
no Worcestershire.
I got Worcestershire right,
We have,
and I did
um,
not get bottle right.
Say that 5 times fast.
Worcestershire bottle. We have
So
Dr.
what we're
Vess,
using is Dr. Vess and Kikkoman soy sauce.
Kikkoman brand loyalty.
Yes, so Kikkoman, like 10 cents
It already
reimbursement.
smells fantastic, so I'm up for new adventures.
Yeah. And basically, this is just soy
That was
sauce,
a very
Dr. Vess,
professional chef.
Oh, it's very professional. It is. And then we
hot
have-
You
sauce,
have to waft. Waft
and
is very-
sugar.
Wafting
This
is
is-
You gotta
very
get the brown sugar in there.
Oh, there's brown sugar.
There's brown sugar and beef stock. And we're gonna let that reduce for a little while, and then let that sit and turn into a nice little thick glaze.
And then we have.
And then we have pork chops down in here, which are garlic, onion, paprika, salt, and ground black pepper. I'm just gonna cook those for a while.
That's some sexy meat.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is-
so back
which is
to what the fuck we
How
were
we
talking
handle
about.
that. Also, I'm 3 drinks in. Unlike
2
these.
drinks. 2 drinks.
I was gonna say
Two and a shot.
2 shots. And
Three
That is a
drinks.
hell of a
So
that's 2 shots
we're
right
gonna
there.
we're
two
gonna
shots in.
take a side trip. No, I'm kidding. I was gonna show them the giant monument of me in my parents' hallway.
Yeah, let's,
I think we forgot to mention in the intro that this is
Quentin's parents.
This is my mom's house.
that's actually that's not even what I was gonna say.
Oh.
But that's a good note. Side note also. It's probably good to mention that we're all want to be stand-up comedians.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
We all do. We all do.
Say
We all
that.
do stand-up comedy. It happens to be a thing that we also do.
I am
Other than
very
cooking
new.
food and getting drunk.
I'm very new in
You
the
are
scene.
you are by far the
month-
newest
a month
of
or
the
two?
group. I
Yeah,
think
it's
you would
2
go.
months.
I think you'd go oldest,
Yeah, I believe I was around
next,
first.
then Matt,
Matt,
and then
and then
Jessica.
It's because I'm a woman. Isn't it?
And how are you like? And you're what like a month,
A month or two, yeah.
month or two in, and how are you enjoying it so far?
Stand up is really fun. I haven't actually reached the point where I'm funny yet. I'm still
I like your material. You're just working. I like your material. You're working on
I'm
stage
working it
presence.
out. Yeah.
Stage presence is
I
what you're
keep
working on.
I keep
Yes.
looking down. and not moving the mic stands.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's great. I got a bunch of new stuff that I'm going to try out tonight. All very topical and relevant to today and things that are happening, political, and it's going to not work out, but it's going to be great. You know, here's the thing that happened today. There was a mass shooting in Canada again. Which, I don't understand why mass shootings happen in Canada, because I feel like they're all super nice to each other. And I'm not sure if they apologize.
That says about
I was gonna say.
How could you shoot someone who says a boot? Like, I mean, come on.
You said
I'm sorry.
That's the funniest guy ever.
I spoke incorrectly. It was actually a mass stabbing in a high school. A mass stabbing.
Really?
And the more important factor, it was a woman.
What? That's
and
really rare.
6 people were stabbed. Now here's the thing.
Feminism is alright.
This is a bit of a
That's right. Mass killings aren't just about men. They're about
here's the
women
thing.
too. And Canada is all about equality.
Here's the thing. You know, no one. Here's the thing, Max. Nobody actually died in this stabbing, and you think it would be like, it would be 30%. It would be 30% more effective if it was a man. It would be more effective.
Deeper for us, there's more power behind the stab.
Men are just better at killing.
But do you think she apologized before or after the stabbing? Because you know she did.
After. That was
Before
definitely
and after.
Probably both. It's Canada. That's.
It's
well, actually, no. Tactically, I would say
I'm
before.
sorry.
If you go up, you go, I'm sorry.
And
Why are you sorry? Your natural inclination is to expose yourself to this apology.
Why are you
and
sorry?
now you're an open target.
And now
So if she was smart, she apologized.
now you have no choice but to go through with what you
Yeah.
I
did.
understand.
Yeah, there actually hasn't been a mass.
Okay, were you gonna say that you were gonna tell a joke about that? Or
Yeah, that's gonna be
just
later,
a random.
and I'm gonna try it out.
That's
Where's
something
the
you're gonna
punch?
talk about. I
What's
was
the
gonna
punch?
say, did you just bring that up randomly? Okay, so you're gonna tell a joke about that.
Yeah, that was my segue into I'm trying to.
I really do enjoy your material, and that's something that everybody's in their first few months. That's something everybody's working on is their stage presences because and you know
having a voice.
I mean the best exactly, and finding your voice. I mean it took me a year and a half to find my own voice because when I first started, I just wanted to be the next Daniel Tosh, you know. And
I'm sorry.
And I know.
I'm
And
sorry.
for a good year, I just wanted to be Daniel Tosh, and then I realized I didn't even like Daniel Tosh anymore. And then and then for the next 6 months, I worked on finding my own voice, and I would say actually 3 weeks ago was my 2-year anniversary of starting comedy for the first time. Thanks.
Happy anniversary.
And
you need another beer.
And I'm about to
track of that day. I'm sorry.
I just remember because I happen to remember. For some reason I remember it was the first Tuesday. Thank you. It was the first Tuesday of February.
That's insane.
And I just remember it was the first Tuesday in February that I started. I remember it took me about a year to get over the fact that I wanted to stop being that douchey Daniel Tosh style comedian, and then for the next 6 months I started working on finding my own voice, and then I would say about 6 months ago I found my own voice, and I would just say it makes writing jokes a whole lot easier when you find your own voice because when you're actually writing your jokes, you know how to write it, you know, like when you have a premise, you know how to start writing the joke. And because when I first started, I was writing one-liners, I was writing stories, I was writing observations, I was writing everything, and my set sounded so weird when you're mixing all different styles together. And then once you find your own voice, you don't have to worry about how am I going to tell this. It's going to be, it's just you've got a premise and you know what style to write it in. And the last 6 months have been so much easier to write, because I discovered I'm a storyteller. So I just started, telling it in story version. And once you find your own voice, it will make things so much easier. And one thing I'll say is that what made a huge difference was that recording all of your sets. Because stage presence is obviously so important, and being able to see. I didn't even do it for the first year that I was starting. I was doing it, and then after a year, I decided to start recording my sets, and I noticed all my nervous tics and habits I would do. I would flip the, I would do that little mini lasso thing with the cord. And
keep flicking it.
Yeah, I would kept flicking it. Yeah,
I'm just picturing you doing this shit.
Yeah, I didn't mean lasso. I just meant like I kept like doing that little wave thing with it.
So pay attention to your tics.
Exactly. Pay attention
shit into it.
Just basically record yourself and find out what you're doing that distracts you from your jokes because.
Sure.
Because like that's what I was doing. That I would pace way too fast. I would like punch. There's a lot of things that you'll notice if you record your sets. You'll notice, be like, people are noticing that instead of listening to my jokes.
You just said a very important thing though, distracting yourself from your set.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
You're stepping on yourself, and that happens a lot.
Exactly.
How do you feel like you've developed in comedy? You've been going for a couple of years.
Oh, this is a weird. I don't want to sound pretentious. Like for me, coming to comedy was just me trying to accept. I always entertain people.
Sure.
Like I'm a person that thinks about other people because I really anyway. So I was like, well, how can I get paid for it? If anything,
Sure.
can I do this professionally?
Yeah.
Can I actually make strangers laugh instead of people I'm comfortable with laugh?
Mm-hmm.
And I just set myself to that challenge. Went forward, was like, I'm doing better than from the responses I was getting. I was like, okay, I'm better at this than some people that just started, or people that's been at it for a little bit. So let me see how far I can go with this, and I just haven't stopped yet.
I will say, as a guy that was around for a while before Matt showed up, there were a lot of first timers that came around. Dude was way better than most first timers.
And I've seen
You developed so quickly. I think you are one of those people who developed faster than anybody else. Like your very first, I remember I watched like one of your first or second sets.
You probably watched one of my first ones too, so keep that.
Probably. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly.
Funny Bun was probably one of my first.
Okay,
ones,
then I would say yeah, and it was like a few weeks ago, so
Yeah.
it was one of your first sets. So, with you, I remember thinking you're very first two sets. And I was like, he's doing the usual, like complaining about the lights, like everybody does.
Yes,
and
I really did.
within like a month or two, you figured it out so much. I mean, you figured it out so much quicker than I did, and a lot of people.
I came in at a higher age, like I'm
definitely
35, so I came in at an age.
I had
think that
no
helps,
concept of voice
I've
until
always-
a panic attack on stage.
Honestly, I feel like as a female comic, it's so much harder to find your voice because everybody labels you as just the female comic. There's some amazing
I
comics.
hear that, but none of the male comics think that.
No, I'm not even talking about male.
I wouldn't say none of.
Well, okay, yeah, that's sorry.
None of
I
us.
made that too general.
But
I
I
mean-
will say,
nobody I talk to.
there's a huge. No one we talk to,
And not
but
even-
I know of them.
not
They're
even
there.
male comics,
and there are a
though.
lot.
The problem with a lot of like I hate when I hear an MC go, and here's your first female comedian of the night. Like it's a
Two or three
it's
names
like
popped
it's
right
just
away.
another comedian. Just let them
Yes, it's another comic.
don't bring them up as something irregular or special. They're
Right.
they're another person telling jokes, and that's it. Like I know Tree hates
More than anybody.
Tree hates that. And if you're watching this, Tree, I love you. You're one of my favorites. I love you more
Sorry,
than
we
anyone.
just went inside. Like,
Yeah,
like
I
who's
love you.
There's
I love
Tree Sanchez.
Sanchez.
Check her out.
I love you.
She has a show in a couple of weeks. I'll plug it in the comments.
Tree Sanchez is gonna have Happy Tree and Friends. We'll
Exactly.
link it in
I
the
love
comments.
you and your boyfriend more than most people in the world, and she absolutely. And I understand. I would too if I was a female comedian. I would hate if someone brought me up as here's a female comedian, as if it's like as if it's just a separate thing. It's like,
Yeah.
and sometimes I understand when an MC is bringing like, hey, let's get off the usual track. Like you're gonna see something new and cool or something. But that's not how it really comes off. Even though they're thinking that, that's not how it comes off. They're saying it in a way that's like it's not like a good different. They're making it sound like it.
Well, you're not saying here comes another kind. It's like here comes something different.
Right.
And it should
And
be.
they
Here
think
comes
they're
more fun.
saying that in a good way. They think they're saying that in a good way.
Ethical standards.
Yeah.
And this is a huge thing for me in regards to the treatment of women in general. Is you are now differentiating them based on the fact that they're a woman. And I think that what you should do is treat everybody that's coming across stage or in any
Right.
job, it doesn't matter what they are. Can you do the job? fine, you happen to have a vagina. You happen to have a different skin
Yeah.
pigment. Like, it doesn't matter. Can you do the job? That's all that matters. This is the name.
Exactly.
This is the website. Like, plug what
Definitely.
matters.
And I will say, it's a lot of the same thing in the culinary industry. Bringing it back to what kind of what our thing is. I get a lot of questions about what it's like being a woman in a kitchen, and the normal joke is that women should belong in a kitchen,
That's
but
what
at home.
blows my
That's a
mind.
thing.
It's such a silly.
I
don't know if you
never heard
It's
that
such a
before.
silly
Oh,
thing.
I don't think I've ever paid attention.
You know, I did 3 years of culinary. I went to culinary school.
Really?
Yeah.
Women belong in the kitchen.
Not in the slightest.
But
Sorry,
you'd be
I'm
surprised.
so sorry.
It's crazy.
Oh, no,
The
you're
best
sorry.
cooks, like everybody goes to my mom throws down. You know what I'm saying? Like people are like, my
Yeah.
mom is who represents at home.
Exactly.
But
And
if you look in the profession, it is men that dominate.
I guess so.
it is a
And
very
that is a very
dominant
weird.
thing.
If you think of who
We-
cooks best in your life, you're gonna picture a female before a male.
Absolutely.
for
But
sure.
if
will.
you look in the industry,
You
it's
always
gonna
think
be a
your
male.
mom. You always think your mom more than anyone.
Yes.
Of course, I think when I think best cooks, I think my mom.
For damn sure.
Done.
I
Like,
have,
first number one, my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
I
I
have,
think and it's like because that's what you grow up with. It's like
Mhm.
what you grow up with. Like you're gonna
my mom makes
Um,
the best mac and cheese or whatever.
Yeah, even
Yeah,
the
exactly.
simplest
My
thing,
mom makes the
yeah.
best goddamn tacos ever.
In the world.
And that's my
Absolutely.
opinion, because that's what I grew up with. Like and like
Yeah.
everybody thinks their mom makes the best whatever because that's what they grew up with.
Spaghetti sauce.
Sure.
What's
The
that
whole-
old thing? It's love.
Spaghetti sauce, because I know you're downstairs and you can hear.
The whole stereotypical joke is like the woman belongs in the kitchen making a sandwich thing, but when it comes to a real kitchen, there's no women there.
Right.
And especially
That's
like
Which is weird.
It's
It's so
so
weird.
it is very weird.
Sexism is still so real that like
Yeah.
people like don't
But
even.
here's the thing. I'm gonna touch on this whenever John Metagoni comes on the podcast or the show. Hopefully soon. We're probably gonna talk a lot about this. But I'm probably like the filthiest one in the kitchen. You hear about kitchens being kind of like, oh, we're making
You're talking like
really
ethically or.
No.
Or
No.
You just come in here, you took a shower like 4 days.
That's exactly literally that was literally the thought I had.
Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk, I'm just confused.
You said what I was thinking exactly.
So, I mean,
please,
the one-
please explain.
Ain't wearing a hairnet, ain't wash your hair.
Right.
Shit.
I'm the one that makes the filthy jokes because honestly,
Okay.
I would rather
Okay,
make
good.
the jokes before
that
somebody
was
else
what I was
does.
hoping.
Right.
Because then I was like, well, then you have no place in the kitchen.
There's been days when I walk in there and I'm like, yeah, I have a bigger dick than all of you. Like, that's just how you have to be as a woman, which is silly. You shouldn't have to be like that.
Well, that's how you
Okay,
have to
what-
be as a man.
Let's
though,
jump
too.
ahead. What is equality? What's truly equality?
That is way too
That's
intense.
how I am. Sorry, that's how I am as a person.
That is way too intense for beer and pork. All right, that is way.
So anyway,
Sorry that I just broke the internet or whatever the fuck. Like, I'm sorry.
beer and pork.
I want to build an
sorry, I
audience
just
before
took this
aliens. Don't put me
So
there.
we're beer and pork. I want to taste the sauce that Quentin made.
Oh,
Matt, how long have you been in comedy now?
I started September 2014. 14,
Little
yes. So it's
saltier,
a year and like a half, something
Okay.
like that at this point.
What do you
Okay.
think you've
No,
learned in
that's
that time?
Oh, too much.
Right.
Like I overanalyze everything. I can't overanalyze
Yeah,
comedy.
well,
It's so
right.
deep. There's so many aspects. There's so many different avenues you can be as a comic.
Right.
Like you just said, you found out you was a storyteller, but you went in a different avenue. I came in knowing I'm a
Give that
storyteller.
a shot.
Yeah, don't draw none. You did though.
I could definitely eat that on pork.
Okay. Do you care about germs?
Germs, no. Like there's certain levels. I learned when I
Should
went to
I
culinary
get a
school-
new spoon?
No, you really don't. No, I'm good. No, I don't think so.
Oh wait, no, go ahead and take your little sample.
It's not bad.
It's gonna,
A little saltier than I normally like.
I don't like salt much. I like natural flavors, and I don't take too much salt.
It
It's got a little spiciness.
has like a I'm probably because of the obviously because of the soy sauce. It's gonna be like a Chinese style kind of pork.
It's definitely soy saucy. That's for sure.
Okay,
That's why I was gonna say it definitely has like a
saucy.
Sorry, I overanalyzed. What kind of audience? Are we looking for a culinary audience or
We're
a
looking for
comedy audience?
Anybody that wants to come to our upcoming shows.
All three of you that will watch this.
Let's take this as a break to let's go ahead and plug a couple things. Do you have anything coming
Actually,
up?
I have nothing.
You know what?
Like, I have
We're gonna
everything
plug.
this weekend.
Let's go to the plug patio, which I'm making up on the spot.
Plug patio.
Are we going to the plug patio?
Let's go to the plug patio.
I'm taking my beer with me though.
Everybody drink.
I think I caught up pretty quick because I did do like 4.5 shots.
Alright, let's go ahead and put this on.
So, we're going to the plug patio.
This is a great concept though. Because I like food and I like alcohol.
Do you like this concept? I'm glad you enjoyed
I
it.
like talking about comedy. That's
I was just talking.
Those are the three best things you could ever
Picking at people's minds. I'll go out first.
Those are my three favorite things.
You're honest. It's your
Join us on
Besides cocaine, if we could add that in sometime.
Join us on the plug patio.
We're going on to the plug patio.
Proper lighting though. They're not going to be proper lighting. Whoever watches this is going to be like, this show sucks. Like,
Bam. Here we go.
they don't know anything about proper
So
lighting.
I got some floodlights right there. So that's the bullshit.
So do we got to get close?
Sure. So Max, do you have any shows coming up?
Oh my god, if you happen to build a time machine, if you could go back like 1 week.
That's how I am.
This last weekend with John Caparulo was, I mean, absolutely fantastic.
Were you in
Yes,
Where was
yeah, Westport.
Okay.
Westport Funny Bone with John Caparulo was the best weekend of my comedy career. I mean, it was, this last weekend was just fantastic. I mean,
And he's one of the nicest guys. I got to meet him a couple of years ago, and he is just such a great dude.
it was a blast. Him and Mark Ellis was featuring, and he was awesome too. I mean, both of them, just hanging out with them, talking with them. Every show was sold out. I mean, Thursday through both. I mean, he didn't do the midnight show on Saturday, but Thursday through 2 shows on Friday, 2 shows on Saturday. Every show was sold out. I mean, amazing crowds. Just their energy for being so excited to see him made my set that much better, just because they were just so excited. I mean, it was I had never seen this in my life, but almost every single show, just them dimming the lights to get the show started, people started applauding and whooping and hollering. Like, it was, I mean, they were that excited to see him, and just being a part of that was amazing. It was definitely, I mean, just from their energy and from their excitement, those were the 5 best sets of my comedy career. I mean, they were unbelievable. I could not be happier that I got to open for him. He was hilarious. He just demolished every show. Mark Ellis was great too. Shout out to Mark Ellis. He's an awesome feature and super nice guy. I'm really excited to hang out with him in LA this summer because I'll be there and I'll be hanging with him and Brian Scalaro and Adam Ray. They're just amazing people. Just a great weekend. Unfortunately, that's not something you can see in the future because that was the past. So I want to talk about that. I can't. You know what? Honestly, the only show I can think I know I'm doing Impolite Comedy with Chris Sear in May.
Which is a great local show, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be on that show in May too, actually.
Awesome. So,
Plug the camera yourself. Plug yourself.
I'm going to be on Impolite Comedy in May with Chris Sear at the Crack Fox, and so will
which is an awesome
Max
show.
here.
I mean, the crowd there is always super.
Super into it, yeah.
They're very into it. I'm not even sure what the word.
Excited. Matt, how about you? What are you going to be on?
I'm gonna be killing it in my bedroom in Cahokia, Illinois, while I play PlayStation and watch wrestling all the goddamn time.
Quentin?
We gotta get back on Gauntlet. We never
got on it. We never got on it.
Oh,
It
that's
was
right.
you,
We
Justin, and Kenny.
Quentin, what do you
I
have?
wasn't a
coming
part
up?
of it. But
Quentin?
so I do have.
Sorry, we're
Sorry,
video game
inside
talk, which is
baseball.
way more important than our careers.
Yes. Yeah.
I will be this Friday. I will be at the Heavy Anchor with Chad Wallace's Comedy Shipwreck showcase.
Show.
And it is a fantastic local show. It'll be
love
my
it. That was
third show with the Michaela Moore who is not here, who I hope to have on the show at some point if we.
That would be great. Yeah.
Michaela's gonna be great. Michaela's a fantastic.
Always
She's
great.
Michaela's a great.
Always good.
And I love working with her and a bunch of other people who are really good too, who I can't remember who are on the show. 'Cause I'm terrible.
I have a show coming up at Foam on Saturday. It'll be Sorry Please Continue with Kenny Kynes and Jeremy Hellwig and all those people. I'm going to be telling terrible Tinder stories. It's going to be great. If you want to hear me embarrass myself, that'll be fantastic. So please come to that. Plug Patio for sure.
Yeah, this was Plug Patio. I'm not done yet.
For real though. Like, I'm sorry, I'm like breaking the ball. This is a great segment too, like, because you need to edit like 4 hours of shit down to 30 minutes or something. To have Plug Patio is a great fucking concept. Just know that. This is episode 1, guys, so we're figuring shit out.
We're winging this.
I usually have something to plug, but this happens to be a time that I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't have anything coming up for
all the time. You
for real.
You do work like there a lot of like.
I literally just finished.
Shows?
I just finished like the last 2 months. I like had a show. You know, I had shows every single weekend, like Thursday through Sunday. And then, but now, I mean, a lot of shows come out the last second. You know, a lot of times people will be like, hey, can you do this show like in a few days or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
That is comedy.
And a lot of time it's at the last second. But this is the first time in a long time that I had nothing coming up. So now I'm just like, well, fuck, I hope someone asks me to be on something soon because I've got nothing to like fucking May.
Jessica, wait till you learn that. The transition of getting booked to the depression of I have nothing
exactly.
but open
Like you'll have like 2 months where like, I mean like, every single weekend it's like Thursday through Sunday, so it'll be like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday you'll do a show.
Yeah, there were a lot of people this weekend.
And then there will be a month where you just do nothing and you're like, well, I got open mic.
I know Andrew Mihalovich and John Venegoti both had like 4 shows this weekend, which was insane, and they killed it at all of them.
Sure. They were even doing other people's shows and still had to get to their own shows and stuff.
Right, yeah.
That was very interesting.
They killed it though. It was great.
Yeah, a lot of times shows will overlap.
I hope nothing's burning inside.
No,
it still smells great.
Yeah.
The only thing that's running right now is the oven.
From what I know of culinary, if we're smelling it outside, that means it's getting to a point to where there's aromas like it could be close to burning or something.
No, it could be close to good. That's what it means.
Close to awesome. It's close to perfection because we know what we're doing.
I like that you people can smell shit still.
You know what show I'm very sad about leaving is well, he's trying to find a new host, but Sean Airdonis was Fell Out Loud. That is one of the
Found Out Loud. I had one of my best sets ever.
Exactly. That is an amazing show.
It's a small room. It's like 30 people at the most. But every time I've been there, it's been an amazing 30 people.
Exactly.
It's one of the best shows you can do.
Exactly. It's such
everybody's so ready for the show.
Well, that's the thing.
It's a very intimate crowd, but they want to see comedy so bad, and it's like, but it's so small. It's just 30 people jam packed inside there that every laugh is like a fucking roar.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And
For the end of Plug Patio here, though, we've got Wednesday night, you got lots of open mics, Parrots, you've got Crow's Nest.
Local comics
not be at this week.
Pitch the local shows, if any.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thursday night is Fitz's. Fitz's open mic.
Open mic in St. Louis.
Saturday night, Sorry Please Continue that I'm on. I think there might be one other show Friday. But yeah, please pitch your stuff in the comics.
Don't forget Crow's Nest. Crow's
Nest for sure. It's different than the rest of the mics.
10.
And show at 10:30 at Crow's Nest in Maplewood. That's a great.
And if you want to try it, we're here to tell you don't.
All right, let's go check on the food.
For people that,
yeah, absolutely. Let's get back to food.
because that's the other interesting thing. It's like, how do we balance this? Because of course, we're going to talk about comedy, but as human beings, we're going to eat. This is mainly about
And
food.
I am both, and I love both.
Okay,
There's some
it
kind
smells
of
so much
timer.
better in here now.
There's some kind of timer going on,
Yes.
so I feel like we should probably check that.
Oh, that is some.
It was really cold outside.
I just want to say, fuck 3D. We need smell-o-vision. That is something that's been hinted at for like.
Is that 40 or is that 5?
That almost would be.
What
Because that's some
what
bullshit
would be
to
the
me.
next way?
The dimensions are such bullshit.
I think
spatial
smell would be 40 and then touch would be 5D.
So
Because I remember
No. Dimensions are based on spatial relations.
Right. So
Two-dimensional, three-dimensional. So you can't.
It would be seeing things from another.
It would
like
be
if you
a
could see the
third
back of
sense.
something and the inside, that would be 5D or whatever.
Okay,
Like,
so let's
that's all
say
it
it's
means.
3S, like the iPhone. It'll be 3S instead of 3D.
How many
or
bars
3SD.
do you get in that? If that vision.
Third sense, because you got your visual and your sound, hearing. So your third will be your touch or your smell. It'll be 3SD. It'll be great.
I would hate that though, because all I'm thinking is related to the phone, and I would hate to where my connection isn't as good. You know what I'm saying? Like I would hate that my senses are only getting 1 bar instead of 4 bars, so I have to smell something. You know what I'm saying? It's like getting a cold or some shit.
See, at what point do we reach Wally? You know, when they're in the chairs,
I
they've got
never
everything
want to be that. I'm
experienced.
close to that now.
Well,
though.
yeah, that's the
I
point.
truly
You
don't
that was the
believe-
whole point of the movie. You don't want to be the people in the chairs.
But I am that already. That's why I don't want to be.
I'm actually,
I'm already living that
I have
existence.
a joke that I'm either gonna tell. Well, usually they don't. After you host a weekend of Funny Bone, they don't put you up at open mic the next time. So I'll probably. But next week,
It's
I'm
so
gonna,
fucking dope.
next week I'm gonna try. I have a joke, but talking about almost that kind of same thing. That
I'll have someone
Jessica, you're the first person here.
Is that a
Alright.
sample though, or is that an actual serving?
That's. Look, I don't control the cut.
I was gonna say, how are we gonna impress people on the internet with no garnish? No fucking.
No,
Like I said,
we're all drinking.
Yeah.
It's fine. I feel
let
like
him see that up
thank you,
close.
Max. I appreciate it. He's a better host than we are.
Yes.
Quentin's already drunk, so it's fine.
Excuse you.
Quentin is already drinking.
Thank you.
Okay.
I got a long way to go before I'm on it.
Jessica, you're
For your limits
Go
of
ahead.
drunk.
This is the initial taste testing on
What's the name of this dish?
Root beer glazed pork chops that do not involve root beer or proper glaze.
Alright, so we're gonna I'm really terrified to try this, honestly. I feel like he got the
It's
so ready.
super hot, by the way.
I feel like he
Like,
got the
this is
discount pork chops.
Spicy hot, or as in it just got done? So
Like, just got done, like, temperature.
Okay, that's
It's
fine.
gonna be.
he's got the method. That
It's pretty good.
goes back to
Actually,
caveman era right there.
I can get back. I can
It's
get
just
that one.
hot, blow on it.
Here, let me cut you a piece here. Try this out, man.
Oh, I got one for
I was
everybody.
gonna say I was about to get one, but
Yeah. No.
Well,
I also, I'm gonna take one of these. I'm gonna disappear off camera for a minute.
does this have any?
Because my mom is downstairs and this is her kitchen.
Thank you, Quentin's
So I'm gonna
mom.
run one down to my mom.
Yeah, she's in the basement. So this is the first food on our food videos, whatever the hell you want to call them. I think
I'm loving it.
pork chops that are root beer glazed that have no root beer.
Yeah.
They're pretty tasty. You can't smell them or taste them, but they are delicious.
Yeah, that first bite was on point for real.
Just imagine a root beer glaze that's more like Dr. Pepper than root beer.
Just imagine a soy sauce and Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, imagine
Dr.
a poor
Vest.
man's because
It's Dr. Vest.
It's Dr. It's
Because
Dr.
you know what?
Vest.
I can afford Dr. Vest, so I'm gonna plug them because they make affordable soda.
Thank you, Dr. Vest.
The people that can't.
I'm
We
gonna go
gonna
ahead
see Dr. Vest on a Super Bowl commercial.
I'm gonna go ahead and break off into Jessica's professional opinion here.
yeah.
This is Jessica's professional opinion. Your pork chop is pretty good, a little bit dry. Your pork chop with that glaze on it is a little bit salty because of the soy sauce, but it's pretty good. I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
And that is fair. This is
6
again
out of 10.
slapped together.
There's also no side dishes or anything.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Chef Ramsay.
But on future episodes, we're gonna do
You
more.
donkey. Or whatever. the
We're
fuck
also
you
going to
call
do
it
more
right
of Jessica's ratings because
Actually,
maybe
we
Jessica
should.
will.
Yeah,
Jessica will-
you know what?
And
That's absolutely what this should be. Let's do Jessica's culinary opinion based on her education background versus my, that looks like enough of that. Try it.
I'm just going to try try and pay attention to not pay attention to you cooking because I don't want to witness that monstrosity that is happening behind me. That some of them can see. I'm not paying attention.
Professionally speaking, this is just like the most horrific.
I'm gonna have to call her out though, folks. She is a baker, and that's a whole different level.
Excuse me. I work online. I make savory food now. Thank you.
Wait, now or always?
I work at Retreat Gastropub. It's in the Central West End, and it is been open 4 months.
Cool.
Everybody loves it. It's great. I don't want to eat too much food now though because
I just love that I looked over and his pork chop is
gone.
Oh yeah, it's gone.
He's been drinking.
So Max's review is it's fucking very tasty.
I appreciate that. I hadn't eaten today yet, so I was very hungry.
Let's.
I was up all night last night on. Let's not even get into that.
On porn.
Yeah, I was gonna say that could be so many things.
You can't say let's not get into that. Yeah. What were you up last night on?
Let's just say, you know what? Let's not even get into that. I did not have an appetite this morning, and then but by the time I got an appetite, it was like a couple hours till I was gonna be here, and I was like, you know what? I want to really be hungry for whatever we're gonna be eating. So, excuse me. Let's just make sure none of my family sees this video.
Sure.
And
there's some things that are pretty prevalent in the comic community.
Yeah, you know what? If you've ever watched a set of mine ever, you know that this happens in my life.
It happens in every comedian's life. Does this happen in your life as well? Because it happens in my life.
What do you mean? What was the question?
Are we up late at night doing these things?
Not me, really. Like, I'm not...
Alright.
Well, when you're an alcoholic, you fall asleep at a decent hour.
Well, yeah, I know.
You don't have a choice.
Yeah, there are drunken nights.
With alcohol, you're fighting against sleep. With some drugs that other certain particular comedians might like to take, you're trying to sleep, but you just don't. You can't. Yeah. There's no goddamn chance.
You're busy vacuuming and other activities that.
Doing the dishes, writing jokes.
That's why you're thinner than me, because my habits that I imbibe to just keeps this, sexy ass frame going.
Your addiction makes you eat food. Mine keeps you from it.
Yeah. Oh God, that is so salty.
No, I love salt.
It's a little bit salty. If it was accompanied with a side dish, it might be alright. It's very salty.
No, that's too salty on its own. Side dish or not. It shouldn't
be that salty. I don't even add salt to stuff. I don't even think it's that salty.
I think it's incredibly salty.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was way too much salt. Way too much salt. So,
our
first episode of The Dish was a failure.
I give you a 6 out of 10. That's a D. That's a D.
This is a D dish.
I'd give you slightly more than D.
He gave you the D.
If it was other things.
He gave you a bigger D.
Yeah,
my
D
family has a great.
And we all know that's fucking acceptable.
Matt Rose has a bigger D than I.
That's fucking.
I mean, that's fair.
That's a whole nother.
My family has a great motto. You make people wait long enough, they'll eat anything. And you know what? I waited all goddamn day, and it was the best fucking thing I've had all day. So,
Look, I spent last night, I was over at Jake Ashlock's house.
Sure.
Watching wrestling.
A good friend of mine.
Yeah, he's a great dude.
I went to high school with him, man. He's a great man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you want to know what's funny about Jake? He was my high school bully. And then we started doing comedy at the same time, and we became friends through that. Jake, in high school, fuck you. I hope you go to hell. Now, I love you. You're a good friend of mine.
Did he just make fun of you, or was it actually how many lockers?
We both played basketball. I mean, he was 2 years ahead of me. He was 2 years older than me. We both played basketball. I remember the first interaction that I ever had with this man was that Jake, I hope you're watching this because you probably don't even remember it because you were such a dick that this was just everyday life for you. But I remember being a sophomore in high school, practicing, going to practice with the basketball team, and he was a senior.
Okay.
And I got there a little early. I went and got Subway before the show, and I got a buffalo chicken sandwich.
Sure.
And I was
a 12-inch because I hate that much.
And I was about halfway through it when Jake gets to practice. Doesn't even know who I am. Never had any sort of social interaction with the guy ever. And he comes up, grabs my sandwich, and stuffs a good half of it in his mouth and slams it down. And my reaction is, "What the fuck, dude?" And with a full mouth of food, he looks back and goes, "Respect your elders, motherfucker." And if you know Jake Ash, like, you know that is totally something he would say.
For sure.
Because
He's so goofy, but like that's what's funny that it's like bullying the you, but
he's the white you.
Being...
He's the 100% white
no,
you.
it's so different though.
He's half.
What does that mean though? What do you? Yeah.
Well, you're half black, half white, right? But like, he's 100% white you. He's you with long blonde hair. He's a gentle well now, I mean back then, I mean fuck him. But now he's a gentle giant with long blonde hair, which is basically just you with lighter skin and long blonde hair.
Quentin,
and that's basically
did you
what
have
he
any
is.
high school bullies?
We get along so well.
I feel like you did because you're so partner.
No, absolutely not. Well, here's what it boils down to. I went to a high school where my graduating class was 110 people. So yeah, like at that point, we didn't have the opportunity to be cliquish and have bullies and nerds.
Oh, I
really.
wish we had that.
I did not have a high school bully. I did have a high school rival.
Oh, a rival.
Really?
I had a rival.
Well, that's cute.
I would love to see.
What was weird?
Rival
Here was the best part. This was technically there's two. There's a guy that thinks we were high school rivals, and there's a guy I think we were high school rivals.
Okay.
And the guy that thinks we were high school rivals, I never viewed him as a rival.
Because he's below you.
Yes.
Not
which is
even good.
ironic because the guy that I view as my high school rival probably forgot I existed. So it is potentially possible that like doubled back on me. But it doesn't matter. When I was in high school, it was kid Taylor Leonard. I know legally I shouldn't use his real name, but you know,
Fuck this guy.
Fuck Taylor Leonard.
Taylor, if I meet you, I'll beat you.
Ass bitch.
I got a jar of change.
Stand up, stairs together.
I got a jar of change you can sue me for using your name. This guy, I'll never forget. This is one of my favorite stories of the high school.
Sure. Love it.
I had the summer job between junior and senior year working on a shipping truck where I made just a ludicrous amount of money. And I took all that money and I bought a car.
Which was a PT Cruiser.
No. That was my sweet ass sexy Toyota Camry.
Okay.
You tell people to move, bitch. Get out the way.
Get out the way.
If it's a ludicrous amount of money, then
Only
you when you get a car, you gotta kind of gotta do that.
I'm not that guy. I only did that like 8 times. No, I did. But the thing was in my high school, nobody had a car. Like I was one of like
that I didn't bring my own.
6 people that had a car.
So your rival was Joe.
So this guy, I remember when I got a car, he had a class with friends of mine, and he asked him,
I do this whenever I drink.
is his car better than mine?
What's his car better than yours?
No. That's what he asked about my car. And was it better than his? Absolutely.
Your Toyota Camry was better than his.
Challenge.
I forget what he had. He had some like forest green.
This is before the
Hold
PC
on.
Yeah, this is 2 cars ago. This was my very first car.
Guys, you know we gotta think about the environment.
I'm 28.
Jesus Christ, you're 28 years old.
I'm 28 years old, and I had the Toyota Camry in high school.
22.
Okay, so.
I had the Toyota Camry in high school, and then I had my Mazda 6.
That's not bad. That's a good car. That's not a bad
It's very
car.
reliable.
It's a reliable car. It is. It is.
What car did Taylor have?
I don't know. It was a forest green
Piece of
80 something.
Piece of
Basically, it was like
An Oldsmobile practice.
yeah, it was just no one's fucking you in that car, dude. No one was fucking.
No one fucked.
Look, Taylor, if
Except
you
for
ever somehow stumble across this video because I
many
succeeded
times
at
in that
life
car.
and you did not, because clearly you weren't going to because you're a neurotic little fuck. Like.
Quinn's 28 and he's already living out glory days. Like,
I'm just letting you know.
Back in the day when
My
I had
car
a Toyota
beat
Camry, I was living it up.
fuck Taylor, whatever his name was.
I didn't
All I'm saying is, one of us had a stalker, the other one didn't. Leave it at that.
And
I
his name
was-
was Striker
He was
Squirrel.
the star.
No, this girl was actually worse than Stryker.
So I have a legitimate question for you. How is it being? You're definitely one of the younger guns on the comedy scene, as far as people. How is that for you? Is it? Do you feel like it holds you back at all at all? I'd said that twice.
People definitely, when I do like legitimate shows, it definitely I have to I have to put my
That didn't work at all. Thank you.
The way you went at it.
I have to start off with my best jokes because when you're younger, people don't respect you as much, and you have to prove yourself immediately. Because like when I noticed that from just my first few weekends that I ever did at the Funny Bone. That like when you're younger, people are. It's almost like oh, that's cute. He's trying to do comedy. You know, when you're older, when you're in your 30s, you know, and you step on the stage, people are like this guy. I already know this guy knows what he's doing. He's been doing it a long time. Let's hear what he has to say.
No.
When you're my
But it's assumed that sometimes.
It's assumed that, but here's
It
the
is
thing: you have to
assumed
really look older.
But
Yeah.
okay, well, I just mean okay, well that's not. But okay, and here's the thing: I'm 22, but when my tattoos aren't showing, people think I'm like 17, 18,
Sure.
and that is something when opening for Caparulo this past weekend, I got that from. I always have a with every show, I always walk up with a Corona. That's just I don't know, it's my tradition, and people after the show always come up to me. And say like, I didn't even think you were old enough to drink, because I always wear a long sleeve shirt, you know, and people, when my tattoos are showing, people are like, okay, obviously like, you know, he looks older, but like when my tattoos aren't showing, I look like I'm 17, 18, and people don't provide you with the same respect, so you have to prove yourself immediately, which is something I realized, and you got to put your your strong foot forward immediately, and you gotta do that, which in a way I think is it's harder, but it's better. It's like not even in a sense just being in the St. Louis comedy scene. St. Louis is considered by like almost every professional comedian who has been through St. Louis. St. Louis is the hardest place to do comedy because there's something about St. Louis. People do. It takes so much more to get people to laugh, to get people to draw people in.
Really?
Yeah.
Was a Red Box's crowd like
David Cross won't even come through St. Louis anymore because he hates coming here so much because it is so hard to get a St. Louis crowd on your side, and that's something that luckily I was able to figure out for this. I mean, especially when you look as young as I do, and you have to get them on your side immediately. You have to say something about St. Louis right off the bat because St. Louis is the proudest goddamn city. I've lived all over the country. In my life, I lived all over the country. Okay, St. Louis is the last place I moved to. And there has never been a city more proud of where they're from than St. Louis.
Oh, cheers to us for that.
Absolutely.
Cheers
I mean, I will say, I'm originally from San Diego. I'm originally from San Diego. I've lived in every region of the country. St. Louis is the most proud city to be where they're from.
I'm okay with that.
And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm not saying that in a bad way.
I know he doesn't mean it in a bad way. I'm looking at you as a St. Louis resident. I mean it in a bad way. Get over yourself.
And
you're not that important.
But here's the
we ain't shit.
And I noticed that I have one joke. I have a couple jokes about St. Louis. One that does well every time, and I made that my opening joke. When I'm in St. Louis, I mean, every once in a while I'll travel out of state, but when I'm in St. Louis, I always make sure to start out with that joke because as soon as you say something about St. Louis, right off the bat, they're paying attention to you because
connected.
they want to hear what you have to say about their city. You know, because they are so intense about their city. They want to know what you have to say about their city. And I always start out with a joke about St. Louis, and that gets their attention right off the bat. And then I ride that momentum
Absolutely.
from there on.
And you've seen John Morgan, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And he's
John Morgan, the Raging Cajun, who is a phenomenal human being, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of the fact that he's become, like, he is one of the best comics you're ever going to see. He's
For
not on
intensity,
Comedy
for just
Central,
personality.
and it doesn't matter.
Hilarious.
This dude puts on one of the best shows you could ever see in live comedy. He's phenomenal. That dude understands how this city works, and the first thing he does at every show is he's got, like, because he's been through here at least 3 times a year for the last, 10 years?
Yeah.
He has a ton of jokes about St. Louis. He always leads in with one, and I always reminds you. My favorite is every time he'll make fun of St. Louis a little bit, and then he talks about people that get mad about St. Louis, and in his first 5 minutes he goes, "So if you don't want to live here, move."
Sure.
He always
There's a few comics who are very good at that. John Morgan. Sean O'Brien has jokes about Westport. Like that's even more.
Well, that's specific to the venue though, because he gets real frustrated. He can't take that anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. But and one more person, Joe Martellotti. Joe Martellotti has a lot of jokes about St. Louis, and he can get.
We need to tag everybody that we talk about.
He can get. Joe Martellotti and John Morgan can get any St. Louis crowd on their side right off the bat, and from there they ride that momentum and they destroy their set from there on out, and that is a huge thing, and that's been one of my biggest struggles.
I'm gonna throw somebody in there. I went to see fucking David Tell a couple weeks ago, and he, for the first half an hour of his entire set, was talking about St. Louis, and it was fantastic. Like, he already knew, he did his research. He's like, yeah, you guys are doing.
Oh no, that's not research. That's him being here.
Well, yeah, but he was he was talking about we have a medical marijuana bill coming up soon.
Yeah.
Let's go vote. But he was talking about shit that's relevant, and I thought it was fucking fantastic. David Tell is huge.
Well,
he's huge comedian.
Here's the thing with David Tell.
And he does his research.
He doesn't even to do a great set. He doesn't even need to do that, but he does it.
But he does.
He knows he knows where he is, and he knows what to do.
He does, and I believe he probably has this everywhere he goes. But I know for a fact he has an in with a particular club manager here, whose name I will not name. That he still converses with on a decent basis.
Sure.
We're going there tonight. You know who.
I used to say that I
and he has a similar first name as mine.
Yeah.
It's this
guy, they already don't like me. I don't need to alienate myself by saying something that'll set him off in his drunken stupor.
My point is, even the bigger comedians, I would say David Tell is a big comedian. Even him.
Because I know
he's the biggest that you can possibly name.
Once I started comedy, he's the biggest name I've heard of.
He's one of the top.
Sure,
he's probably in the top 10.
Even he will reference back, and that's great that you're doing that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome, because even the biggest names still have to do that to get you into.
And that just shows how much work comedy takes. People don't realize.
You have to do research.
Well, and that's the thing. You
can
can nix pandering as much as you want, and to a certain degree, yes, it's irritating and it's stupid. But at the end of the day, that's what gets people to listen to whatever you have to really say.
You guys want to hear us talk about St. Louis? Let's.
You live here. If you're watching this, I mean, 99.9% chance you live in St. Louis. So
yeah, all you know us.
I have never met a St. Louis native who didn't want to hear what someone had to say about their city.
Absolutely. Well, up until the riots.
The
riots made us go,
even still, they were like, no, what do you have to say about the riots, motherfucker?
Yeah,
it's been a year and a half or so, and I mean, I feel like we still talk about Ferguson.
We're gonna have
to. Absolutely.
That's the only problem that bothered me at Westport Funny Bone is like they put a kind of ban on talking about it, and I think if anybody comes to hear what somebody has an opinion on, It's
Well-
a comedy show, but it's not an open mic.
Okay.
So it was that
The
fine
funny bone
line.
never
It was
put an official ban on it.
Oh no, the
They
Westport
didn't want
Valley
you to
Park
get-
did for sure.
Okay. Okay. Well, maybe
Westport
Valley
did.
Park did. Westport just didn't want you. They was like, if you have a joke, tell a joke. Just no
Yeah.
speeches
About what?
about Ferguson.
I think I killed it all.
Did you? Okay, where's that bottle I brought?
I so
It's
did.
still in the fridge. Right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of, if you can't see in my face.
So that's the
I'm lit
It's just kind
quicker
of
than they are.
I am like a 110-pound woman. I'm still not drunk yet.
Oh,
This motherfucker.
That just scared me because that's
Anybody?
full.
I'll take the
Half a
tiniest
shot?
shot you. Yeah.
Yeah,
half
I was
a
gonna
shot.
say-
I have to pick up my son very
So
early in the
here's-
morning.
Oh, okay, I'm glad you just.
Do you want a little bit?
I'll take a little bit.
Hang on. Hang on.
When you said in the morning, I was like, okay, great. Because if it had been like,
And she-
I gotta pick my kid up in 10 minutes.
And she pours
It's
it.
like, no.
No.
Wait, hold on.
We have to do this as a team.
No.
Like, I have to back
Tuesday,
you up.
Hold on.
Tuesday nights are my nights away from are not having my son
Everybody.
because I have to go to work.
Everybody.
Quentin needs to make a
Okay,
bit about
so-
this.
I've been doing a bit about a particular brand of
Bit.
alcohol
Hold
for a
on,
long
I-
time. That I've had people come up to me after shows, and they don't believe it exists. So right here, this is Bentley's Canadian whiskey. Bentley's is a real thing.
I went to the grocery
Exists.
store today and I bought this bottle of whiskey for him.
Yeah.
It
They
is
sold it on my
$7 at Schnucks.
He'll
Or
never
something.
drive the
Regular
car,
price, it's always
but he
on
will
sale.
drink the whiskey.
Always on sale.
So if you want cheap whiskey
This
for an
garbage.
entire...
Complete opposite of the car.
I think we should close
Like the
this.
Bentley automobile is something we'll never even probably sit in. Let's see drive by,
I'd
but we
still
can
love
drink
to.
the
I'd
alcohol
still love
every
to
day.
see David Bowie tell me exactly what it is.
That'll never happen, but
Oh,
if he does,
we
Okay.
using a Ouija board.
yeah, we got time.
Okay.
I'm wondering, you know the
we don't
audio
got,
of this is
like,
gonna
half-
suck ass.
Yeah, it's
No,
fine.
that camera's got a great mic.
Does it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Monica's
sorry.
favorite.
Sorry whoever's digging
anyway.
this right now, because... Okay, I'm sorry.
Anyway, mid...
I'm going to McDonald's on my way to
Three-quarters of the way.
Westport because I'm still hungry. so-
Cheers to McDonald's, thank you.
Or maybe Hardee's. Their steakhouse steak burger is to die for.
Wait, say that as you look at
In
the
other
camera
words, that
and
pork
give them
chop
a
wasn't
wink.
enough, folks.
Let's just pretend we're on the plug patio real quick. Hardee's Steakhouse steak burger is absolutely to die for. I mean, I've been eating that like twice a week for the past month.
My first
And
job ever was Hardee's, and we used to like eat the
Awful.
roast beef all the
In
time.
the words of Ryan Dalton, have any of you worked at Long John Silver's?
Nobody
No.
has.
Alright.
No,
We're
thank
gonna have
God.
I was just talking about this with him on
We
Sunday
don't have to go
morning.
through and tag everyone.
I'm talking about that.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers to the first video.
Yes.
Cheers
The
to...
first hot mess.
First
They're
hot
producing.
mess and the first audience.
So when y'all see what this actually becomes, know it came from this shit. And you're welcome, motherfucker.
Oh, God, that's so bad.
That's disgusting. Why
I
do you...
know.
Oh,
Because
God.
it's $6 a bottle. That's why.
Yeah, there's no
Bentley's-
umbrella in that. drawer.
Is it worth it though? Is that still worth it?
Now, how much does it cost?
$6, $7.
Okay.
For
Excuse me,
an
sir.
entire
That's why
$7.50
mixers
bottle of
exist.
whiskey.
Oh man, here's the thing. I'm not a real man. I cannot take that kind of whiskey.
I'm only half in, like I'm half white, half black.
If you've
I'm
never
I'm
been
still
in
not a
prison,
man.
you cannot drink that. But if you've served hard time, we're holding hands. If you've served hard time, you're fine.
Okay.
I've never done either, but I'm just not a real man. That was
It's
not.
okay.
That was an awful shot of
I want to say
alcohol.
I appreciate Max Bryce and Matt Rose for both coming and raving.
Absolutely.
Here, hold hands.
We gotta, yeah.
Quentin,
Can we
grab-
say grace real quick?
grab yourself.
I'm just
grab
kidding.
an
There's
arm.
no God.
I appreciate all of you for coming on our first video. It has
Absolutely.
been
This is- yeah.
a shit show, and I hope all of the audience enjoyed it. But hopefully this
There's
takes
no
off,
audience.
and hopefully
Hey, guy.
you get-
Audience
Thank
or
you.
not, I had a fucking blast.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm
Alright.
here at Quentin's mom's house. With her in the basement. She's in the
thank you.
basement
Shout
right now.
out-
The basement's still
Shout out
working.
to Quentin's
That's the-
mom.
He
that's the
put
other
his
thing.
mom in the basement.
Yeah,
So we could
audience
get
or
I didn't
not,
put her in
audience
the
or not,
basement.
I had
She
a
works in
fucking
the
blast.
basement.
If you're hold on. If
I
you're,
put her nowhere, and I'm not going to have her think that I told people that I put her anywhere, because I'm not dealing with a backlash of her thinking
Side note.
that I told people I was in charge.
Side
Her
note.
mom runs my
Okay,
life.
sorry.
Side note, if you're a St. Louis comic and you'd like to be on this video, hit up Quentin Wilbert or Jessica Mitchell on Facebook or wherever else. We shoot on Tuesdays or Wednesdays or whatever.
We're going to find days.
In the evening.
We really don't have that ironed out
please join us and get drunk with us.
I was going to say, the only mandatory thing is
all you have to do is bring your own beer.
Which I didn't do, but I brought whiskey.
Something I like to add to just about anything. Next time, whenever you run out of comics and you got to repeat comics, and I come back on the show, whenever you run out of people and I become repeat comic, my favorite thing to add to anything is a little fun game called Catchphrase. And catchphrase when you are fucked up on any drug or alcohol is an absolute goddamn blast.
All right, let's go.
And I kind of wish I would have brought it tonight, but next time we'll definitely do that because
Absolutely.
Because I'm just gonna relay this right here, right now. The first time that I did meth was a total accident, and
Me too.
there was 4 of
These
us
gentlemen.
up from 1 to 9 in the morning playing Catchphrase. I mean, for 8 straight hours. I mean, a couple small breaks in between. But it was the most intense game of Catchphrase. And I'll tell you, it is so much more fun than you think.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there. I have never done meth. I've never done meth, and I'm gonna just throw that out there just for anybody who's watching.
But I'm just saying, for more ideas, I'm just throwing out ideas for the future. Okay, a little variety, something to mix it up.
It's meth.
As a guy that was sort of behind this from the get-go, who loves board games, so much so that I keep this next to the stack of paper towels that the camera is sitting on.
I'm drunk enough, I can't even read that. There's too many consonants.
It's German. It's German.
Is it? Yeah, fuck you, German. They don't even have a
the words
Fuck you, I'm German.
Carcassonne.
I don't know anything about German, but I am German.
Hey.
Can't talk about it.
He's got at least half a right to hate you.
He is half black.
Which is one of my jokes tonight. If you're at Westport, I have a half black joke. So.
No one's gonna be at Westport, but they will next week.
They won't even see this until after this.
Tuesday night.
That's what's so funny about
Tuesday nights at the Funny Bone in Westport, open mic night. These lovely gentlemen and myself will be there trying to go. I'm a great host. I'm the
And
rest
hopefully,
of you,
by the way,
I'm a great
my tax
host.
refund will have come in, and I will have more stylish Hawaiian shirts. You do not want to drink this.
I
This
sit
is
all
like
over my glasses.
this much bourbon.
Alright, perfect.
Guys, I hope we all get up tonight at Westport and we're a fucking mess.
So that's the thing, audience.
I already know I won't get up because I hosted last
I'm
week,
a
so
woman.
I hope you guys get up.
I'm a woman, so I will get up unless there's another woman. And Sarah Pearl's not there, Amanda's not there, Tina might be there, Tina D-Ball might be there.
Privilege.
So I might actually get up. I haven't been up in like 3 weeks, so.
Is that white privilege or female privilege?
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Are you
That's
fighting the
female
establishment, or are you
White
As a
fighting
giant half breed, I don't get up anytime.
White female
No,
privilege.
I do.
How many women get up on that
Why
stage?
not both? You
If
know?
you show up, you don't get up. I'm thinking of having a
first
sex
episode.
change just so I can
Do
get
you
up for
wanna,
Westport.
do you wanna
That's what I'm
I would love to try and clean this up a little bit for an outro.
close enough? Thank you
Are we
for
closing the show?
We're closing the show.
This hot mess?
Quentin and I are the hosts.
We're gonna host.
Thank you
we will
for-
be your hosts. This has been Max Price and Matt Rose, who you will absolutely, as long as this continues, see again.
Yes,
on this show.
absolutely. We'd love to have him back.
It's up to you guys. This shit
Privilege.
Quentin Wilbert, Jessica Mitchell, please come back sometime soon.
Absolutely.
Please do.
Watch us. We're going to be as much of a shit show as we are now.
Yeah, this will not get better. The whole
It
point
will
is
not
for
get better.
everybody to
And
be
who
drunk.
wants it to, honestly? I mean, nobody.
He's knocking over his drinks.
The worse it gets, the better the ratings. I mean, that's how every show
Absolutely.
is,
Thank you for watching.
Honestly, when we get out of like the first 5 episodes, and I really let loose, the minute they let loose some social topic that I don't want to piss people off
But,
about while I'm trying to build a fan base.
Plug patio
You're not
is
gonna
gonna
like me.
happen. Plug patio will
Plug
always
patio
have
is
you.
perfect. That's a great
Plug Patio
concept.
is great.
Thank
I
you
love
for
the
watching. Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for coming.
Can I
Come back.
applaud?
Yeah,
Thank you for
clap.
helping.
Just start
I
clapping.
would love to applaud.
start.
If this was studio, we need a laugh track.
The last hour and a half of my life have been a goddamn blast. I'll tell you that much.
Start laughing.
We need to